Vincent McKeever, 490 Northwest 3rd Avenue, Deerfield Beach, Florida. I just want to say, Mayor, I think you're doing a great job since you've been here. I supported you in your campaign. I will continue to support you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I started working here at the city of Deerfield in July of 2000. So I've been working here pretty much now for about 13 years. When I first started working to the city of Deerfield, it was more, I was very proud to be employed here. I really tried hard to get a job at the city of Deerfield, and I knew that people really took pride in the work that they did in Deerfield. When I first started working at the city of Deerfield, they used to get the most beautiful beach, cleanest beach award, and the most beautiful landscaping award. We used to get all kind of awards. And now I look, and the morale of the workers are down very, very low. And I'm here, I just want to speak on behalf of the workers. When the new administration came in, when Mayor Nolan and them came in or whatever, it was some real hard times for the employees. We were constantly being threatened that we were going to be privatized. First, it was a promise made to us that no one would get laid off. They discussed us taking furlough days and stuff like that. And about a month after they had a discussion about us not getting laid off, they came in and they laid off 106 employees. Then, after they laid off the employees the next fiscal year, when the budget came around, we had to take a 5% pay cut. Not only did we have to take a 5% pay cut, but we also had to pay 10% more on our insurance. So, and some people who had just started working at the city, they had to take a 5% pay cut. Plus, we had to get another 5% across the board, plus the 10% for the insurance. So some people actually lost 20%, and everybody else lost 15%. That tore the morale down. And then, like I said, we were constantly being threatened. Well, if you don't want to do this, we're going to privatize this. And as you can see, they started contracting a lot of stuff out. I see that the city is starting to move back in a positive direction. And I was just wondering, I know that, one of your mottos was that you was going to try to get us some of our money back. In the new budget coming up, is that going to be implemented that we get 5% back, or,
I wish I could say that, I wish I could say you're gonna get 5% back. I looked at the budget and thought I could wangle 3%, but of course, I have to wait and see what the city manager proposes when we go to budget on the 24th and the 25th. I will say this, I have a real problem with the outsourcing of jobs in this city. We lost 106 workers that were Deerfield residents. When you have workers that live here and pay taxes and spend their money here, you don't give their jobs away to some company. And it's funny because I had 2 kids that are lawyers. I'm sorry, but at any rate, my one daughter said to me, have you people checked on the status of the people that are the outsourcers? Are they legitimate? Are they legal? Are they illegal? Are they paying them the same rate that you are being paid? Or is that why they can undercut you? Because they're not paying them a living wage because they're illegals. And I asked that. Did anybody ever check with the company to make sure that the people they hire are legal residents or legal people in the city? I never got an answer to that. I have a reputation for interfering. But unfortunately, I don't interfere. I investigate. And I don't take anybody's word for anything. And I'm sorry. If that hurts, or if the people that I work with are not happy about that, that's just too bad. Because I'm going to continue, because I'm telling you, if you look at what I handed out to you tonight, I'm telling you, the general fund for the city of Deerfield, now that doesn't include garbage and water, that's the enterprise fund. But the general fund is the money that you put into the fund with your ad valorem tax, okay? Last year, the general fund raised $77 million. 46 million of that was the police and fire and VSO. So that meant the city wasn't running those two entities, VSO was. So we had, what, $31 million left, and we had a manager, an assistant city manager, an assistant to the city manager, an assistant to the assistant to the city manager, and we spent $629,000 for just one department. That can't be. We can't have secretaries making $70,000. We can't have secretaries making $64,000. I mean, if you go out, in fact, I went on the internet and thought, well, you know, if these people are making this kind of money, they must be paralegals or something. They must have some kind of marvelous degree. Well, the national average for a paralegal is $58,000, and our people are making 70 and 64. And not only that, but we have, well, there's a lot of things, and let's be realistic. We have an assistant city manager that was hired to do. In 2010, he signed a contract to be both the assistant city manager and the CRA director, okay, for $120,000. He was originally hired by Mahaney for $84,000 to be the CRA director. Okay, when they bumped him up to assistant city manager to CRA, they gave him $120,000, they gave him a car, they gave him insurance, they gave him all kinds of goodies, fine. But then last budget hearing, without any new contract, they decided, well, he could just be the city manager for $120,000, and we'll bump the economic person up to $84,000. She can be the CRA director. Something has to happen with the structure of the salaries in this city. Something has to be done, because if you have 2 people in waste management doing the work of 7 people, you know darn right well that nothing's getting done. And so those are the places where you have to spend money for the little people. And we should start bringing back the 106 that knew the jobs that they got let go.
That's the next thing I want to talk about. You know, some of those people that lost their jobs, they were friends of mine, and you know they really struggled. Some of them lost their homes. You know, some of them just went down the drain. You challenged the city manager the first night when you was inaugurated. When the gavel was passed over to you, you told him by the next, I think it was 2 meetings, that you wanted a plan put together for him to bring back those 106 people. I would like to know, has he given you anything to that degree?
Well,
do we have a plan?
I think we're going to have some discussion at budget time as to, I want to see the contracts for those people that are doing the outsourcing for the city. You know, when they said, well, the city workers couldn't cut the trees. That's a crock. The city workers were cutting the trees. The city workers were doing the swale areas. The city workers were cutting the grass. The city workers had a lot of pride in Westside Park, which, I mean, and people are complaining now about the upkeep in Westside. And the other park, Johnny McKeithen Park, is closed, I think, right
yes,
now.
I was going to bring that up too. They're over there working on it now, but you know, I'm a member of Cathedral Church of God, and sometimes we used to have picnics over there. I think that park's been closed pretty close now to 2 years, pretty close, and I think that's a disgrace. You know, because if that would have been in any other park, in any other area, as soon as that happened, they would have been over there with roll-off cans and they would have been cleaning it up.
That's what you people have to do. In other words, there are budget meetings on the 24th and 25th. Come to the budget meetings and express yourself. Tell the people that are sitting up here with me that you wanna see the work being done in Deerfield being done by Deerfield people.
Amen.
Because they spend their money in the city, they are residents here. What happened to that 106 was really terrible. Because as you said, a lot of them lost their houses. I know the economy was not good, but a lot of them were just part-time workers anyhow. And when you think about the benefits for part-time workers, and I see the human resources person is sitting there, and he'll tell you, part-time employees are not entitled to all the benefits that we part-time employees up here are taking home. Okay? No health insurance, I didn't sign up for anything. But the part-time employees don't get health insurance, don't get medical, don't get dental, don't get visual, don't get anything. Because they don't get pensions. But all
I
of
just
these
wanna
people
thank,
do.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to thank you for your time and keep up the good work.
Thank you. Somebody brought up the other night, and I think it was John Grossi, is he still here? In 2002, I think it was, because I have a copy of the ordinance. They passed an ordinance that said if you served 8 years on the commission, you got your health insurance paid for the rest of your life. Who wrote that? How did that come about? Frankly, I don't think I'm going to be here for another 8 years, but I don't think I deserve you to have to pay for my health insurance. Okay.
Sandra Scurry, P.O. Box 882, Deerfield Beach, Florida 33443. First of all, I would like to say, Mayor, I applaud you for such wonderful job that you have done and that you will do. I've seen great change in this city since you became mayor. And I'm pretty certain that there will be more changes starting from the top to the bottom. I came to the city of Deerfield as an employee 2004 up until 2010. Anyone in here that knows me, in my department of Parks and Recs, I was one of the top females that worked. When I was off, I still came to work. An incident, I was at my stepfather's wake. I got a call from my supervisor. The person that was supposed to show up, I guess partied the night before and couldn't come to work. They asked me, called me, could you come to work and fill in? I'm like, I'm at my stepfather's wake, are you serious? Okay, when the wake is over, okay, fine, I'll go to work. I worked when others didn't work. I neglected my family on holidays. Anybody here that know me, I worked Christmas, whatever days, holidays, I was not with my family because I loved my job at the city. I was dedicated to my job at the city. I was bamboozled from 2004 to 2010. I got no respect for my supervisors, from the city managers. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. They can write it down, take pictures, call, I don't care. For those of you that don't know, I'm the young lady that got suspended for 2 days without pay for not speaking to Peggy Nolan. And at the time, I didn't even know who the lady was. We was on the beach. She was talking to a fellow coworker of mine. I went to the supply closet. I came back to get into the vehicle. I get a phone call. At the time, it was George Edmonds to meet in the office immediately. I get in there. What am I being brought in here for? Oh, you suspended without pay for not speaking and acknowledging the mail. Not only that, they told me I was a disgrace to the city. I was a disgrace to the city employees. It was a big mockery about it. I was threatened behind all of this. And when they did the layoff in 2010, it was food taken out of my grandchildren's mouth as well as mine. I'm here to let you know, Mayor, and all others, my life has really been, you could basically say, a living hell. If it wasn't for the good God Almighty, I don't know where I would be right now. Probably in a mental institution behind the things that I endured with the city. Up above, the city managers, they didn't care about my well-being. Number one, working with the city of Deerfield, you got to be a snitch, or you got to give up your goodies, your personal goodies, being a female. If you don't do those things, you get kicked to the curb. And when they did that layoff in 2010, guess who's the first one on the list? And I asked them, why am I being laid off? If the seniority rules. I was here before the 4 people that you kept over me, and the age-wise, they was under me. You brought people in full-time over me. Every full-time position that they had open, I applied for it, I got shut down as if they didn't even acknowledge my application. I mean, from 2004 to 2010, all these openings that you had, you used to tell me I didn't qualify for them. You got people that came in 2 months after me. Position come available, you move them right in. I'm not a snitch. My job, I didn't come here to make friends, I came to make money. I'm the grandmother of 16 grandchildren. Yes. And I've been a resident of the city of Deerfield for 48 years. Your husband was my doctor, Dr. Rob. I went to Braithwaite. I went to the other various schools here. And we as a whole in the city of Deerfield, if we would stop looking at the bad and focus on the good, because one thing I learned, the good is gonna outweigh the bad. And even the people that's in the audience, the residents, the community, stop coming in these meetings with your little cliques, whispering and writing little notes, passing them like a chain letter. If y'all are not pleased with what Mayor Rob is doing, keepitmoving.com. Because she is the mayor, Peggy Nolan is no longer the mayor. I have nothing against Peggy Nolan and nobody else for that matter, but this is our mayor. This is who was voted in. And again, if you don't like what's going on, y'all sit in her seat and see how hard it is. And again, this racist stuff, it has to stop. Whether it comes from management, the community, the residents, or whatever. We're not picking cotton no more, we wearing cotton. We ain't riding on the back of buses no more, we charting them now. We need to come together as a whole and learn how to love one another as Christ loved us. And at the end of the day, those of you that don't have a conscience, believe what I'm telling you. You're going to give an account for your wrongdoing and being caught up in wrongdoing. Because every knee going to bow and every tongue going to confess. So if you go home and you can't sleep, wonder why. Ask the good Lord up above. Mayor Rob, again, I thank you for a job and well done.
That's really funny, because I'm happy when nobody acknowledges me. Go ahead.
Yes, Wayne Miller, live at 94 Southeast 3rd Avenue, Deerfield Beach. I'm a retired employee, worked for the city for 35 years. We're in the water plant, it was my home.
Did everything in the water plant,
Yes, sir.
shepherded us into the new era when it came to water, to osmosis and reverse osmosis. All of it was what he did until he got shafted, and I know how. Go ahead.
Yes, I just want to say I'm so glad you got reelected. Support you 100%. I always know where you came from because I was an employee when you were here the first time as a mayor.
That's right.
You always asked the right questions. You made us support what we wanted. But as long as we were upfront with you and knew what we were talking about, it wasn't an issue. It's only the posers and the wannabes that got issues. So I just want to let you know, even though I'm retired, I'm here for you. If you ever need anything about the water plant or what's going on, utilities, I'm there for you. Free of charge, no cost.
I know that. No, back, Wayne, when the recent person was fired from the water plant, I suggested that perhaps we should have Wayne Miller come back and straighten out the mess for six. They hired somebody. I have yet to find out what they're paying these people that are supposed to be fixing up our water
I
plant.
heard it's an outside consulting firm.
I know who it is because I asked the manager. I found out that, yes, they're helping everybody to straighten everything out. I said, that wasn't the question I asked. The question I asked was, what are we paying these people? Because I knew he would do it as a gift to me.
I would.
He would have come because he had, and we're not gonna discuss how he retired.
No,
Okay.
please.
We're not gonna discuss the fact that we lost a valued employee because the city manager took the word of someone other than Wayne Miller, when he should have said to Wayne, you don't have to retire, you don't have to do this, but he didn't, okay, so
Thank
that's
you,
it.
but I'm here for you and the residents.
Thank you, Wayne.
Carol Burma, 3130 Cambridge Ave, Deerfield.
It's so nice to see you back, Carol.
Thank you so much, Mayor. It's nice to be back and with people who actually listen. What I really want to say to you is that I want to say I've been to a District 1 meeting, I've been to a few District 2 meetings, going back even with Gwendolyn Clark Reed and with Preston. Unfortunately, I really couldn't go to District 3 meetings because we never had any in District 3, which is one of the reasons I had to go to other meetings. And I've been to District 4 meetings, and I have to say this is the most informal and happiest and funny, and not only that, but people are being given a chance to truly vent. And I think that's very happy, and I think the morale of that should just lift the spirits of everybody in Deerfield Beach, so I want to thank you for that. I do want to talk about the 106 people who were laid off, and some of them had to be rehired. And I had spoken to a commissioner about that once, and I said, well, how could somebody lay off all these people and then people had to be rehired? And I was told that the person who laid them off had just come into the position. And I know that it would seem to me that anybody could say, hey, I need some time. I need some time to really figure out what's going on here. But that didn't particularly happen, and of course that person, doesn't get held accountable. It's only the people on the bottom who actually are held accountable. I want to talk about the millage rate. We always hear in this city that this town does this and that town does that and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I just hope when budget time comes that we really do see the millage rate in all the other towns, because I'm under the impression that we have one of the lowest, and that if we dropped it a percentage point last year, that
1
that
mil, no, not a percentage.
1 mil, I'm sorry, that should come back, and plus a little extra to make up, so that we don't have only 7 million in our reserves. And I do think there was something else I wanted to say, but I can't seem to quite remember it. Can I get a reprieve?
No, you can't come back. And you can't plead the fact that you're too old, because that doesn't work here, okay? You have to remember.
Okay, well then I have to say.
It's probably the beach parking.
Oh, you got it. You got it. Oh, thank you so much. You got it. Thank you, Mayor.
How come I'm reading your mind, Carol?
I don't know. I come from a city, well, you don't know, but I come from a city that is 350 years old. And the reason I bring that up is because it's also a beach resort. And nothing changes in that city. I am proud to say that they don't even have a fast food restaurant in this town. But yet, after all that time, they actually put an arm in their city-owned parking lot like we have at the Cove. There are so many people in this city that get away with going to our beach for free because they park in the Cove parking lot and then they walk over and get a free ride at the beach. And I think there needs to be a stop put to that. I know that the commissioner in that district said never on his watch will he put an arm in there. But I gotta tell you, it's one of the prettiest towns in the United States, and I am talking East Hampton, Long Island, I think we've all heard of it. And that's a city that does have the best beaches in America. They're always on the top 10 list.
Arm, Carol?
That and that's where their supermarket is and their stores are. That there's an arm that you have to take a ticket. And then you get like a 2-hour, parking. If you go into a restaurant, then or one of the stores there, you don't have to pay. But all of the people that go in to the Cove Shopping Center and take away business from the stores, I'm sure, but basically don't pay to go to the beach. I think, and we're looking for money all the time. How do we let these people just go there for free when other people pay for parking stickers or whatever they do? So that's what I wanted to say, and thank you for your memory. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else wish to be heard? Yes, ma'am.
Name and everything for the record again?
Yes, please.
Patricia Saunders, 252 Southwest 34th Avenue. Couple questions. I would like to know why, because I was told by one of the clerks when I tried to speak consecutive in these, why you cannot put your name on the agenda at every other meeting,
No, that's right, you can't.
You
In
can't?
other words, you spoke at the last meeting, so you can't, you have to skip one before you can speak again.
So, because
You can speak at the end of the meeting, I mean, you're not limited that time. But when you want to speak at the beginning of the meeting, you can only speak once and then you've gotta skip a meeting, and then.
And then
you
do
come back.
another
Yeah.
one? How come there's no records to be found in that within the city?
Well, there is, I think, it's just, there's a procedure even for, I mean, I was reminded of that when everybody was attacking everybody last night at the meeting, you know, that there is supposed to be decorum, et cetera. And I don't know whether but there is, I
Yeah, I
mean, I
can't
know.
find it nowhere.
Well, we'll find it for you,
That a
Patricia.
resolution is not codified,
Mhm.
ordinances are codified, so you won't find the resolution on the
Mayor?
So it's not in the city.
It's not on the meeting code.
Mayor?
But we'll be happy to send it to you,
Yes.
she'll look for it.
Please, yes.
Yes.
That's the Barbara Miranda Act, because she kept coming to every meeting, and, oh, yes, it is, absolutely. It's not called that, I call it that, but that was the reason it happened, one woman kept coming to every meeting.
That's right,
And
because
she
wasn't
was
she with the
doing-
Grannies or
Yeah,
somebody, yeah,
Rachel
those
Granny, and that's
people?
why they
They
changed it
adopted
to
that
every
then,
other.
just because of that?
Well,
It could get very annoying
You might
if you
have
come
done
to
so.
every meeting, you know. I'm sorry, Patricia.
it wasn't even city business.
Okay, enough.
Okay, second question, I wanna know why, do the city workers have to work on legalized paid holidays?
Well, I don't know why they do, but they do get paid extra.
Yeah, I would like to know. Only full-timers? Okay, I would like to know why, please.
Okay.
And another question, CRA,
Yes.
I wanna know, it's been what, over a year now, they have taken over for the community development grant, the city
Right.
EBG. I wanna know, what are they getting paid for, because they haven't done nothing for the city, all they're doing is collecting money.
That seems to be the problem with a lot of things going on in the city, but, that in particular, I know because, who was it, was it Stephanie McMillan who
Yeah.
spoke about it yes, because she used to run that division before they hired.
CRA.
Yeah, right.
Because they haven't came in, they're not doing anything, I wanna know why they keep getting paid. They haven't done nothing for the city, nothing, but they're getting money, and it's HUD money.
That's the other thing, I think I asked at the meeting, who supervises these people? You know, who's supposed to be watching what they're doing? And I don't know.
It's supposed to be, Kevin Clark's supposed to be, and Dawn are supposed to be over supervising, but HUD is supposed to be supervising all of them. And that's my question, what's going on? You know, Burgess Henson is a city manager, so he needs to speak up.
Well, you know, I can't do everything at once, I've only been here since March.
Yeah.
So, give me a
So,
break.
that is very important, collecting money, doing absolutely nothing for the city.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, you spoke once. Once is enough.
This is. I thought I could come back again.
No. Once is enough.
Let's beat the mayor.
No second chances, not here. Yep. Your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Mayor. First off, my name is Oscar Alonso. I'm a city employee for 15 years. I work for the fleet as the lead mechanic. First, I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to address those issues facing these workers. And I myself, I've been going through some issues in my division just as well. And most of these stuff here, Andrew and other employees was speaking on our behalf. They've covered 80% of these things that I'm about to address here. In my case here, working here for 15 years, and I started here as a sanitation mechanic, okay? And I've been in a leadership capacity for most of that time that I've been here, all right? My problem started after my former fleet supervisor, Basil Farrington, he retired from the city.
Oh yeah, I remember Basil.
Well, I was used officially, okay, in that capacity for almost a year, all right? And that I must say, with Basil, when I worked with him as a lead mechanic, okay, I was the Robin behind the scene, all right, for most of the stuff that were done. So after I served in that capacity, and I decided to put in to be reclassified into that supervisory position. All right, and since then, I've been retaliated against by my former boss, Alan Salaries. I think he resigned from the city about a month ago or so. So, and I went to him and we discussed several issues, and he told me, well, Oscar, you know what? We could smooth selling here. I'm here to tell you, okay? You either gonna do it my way or the highway. I said, well, Alan, I'm gonna tell you this here. I don't care how much you retaliate against me, but let me tell you this here. I stand by what I believe in. I'm not jealous the fact that he might want others to be promoted into that fleet division. But I'm gonna say I'm here for 15 years and I have the most seniority in that fleet department. So I look to see that things are done with fairness. So I was retaliated to the point where my position as a lead mechanic was eliminated out of the budget. For the past few months, back in September. And for the time that I've been with the city, I've never seen a frontline position being eliminated because of malice or anything of that nature. And I addressed these issues with the chain of command. It falls on deaf ears. It was like I was speaking to the wall. And Mr. Malanaski is here to attest that we discussed this several times, all right? And from what I was told, well, these guys were better qualified than you. I said, well, you know what? I have seniorities. Both the union rules and the civil service board state that, you know what? A person with seniorities and would have the opportunity to promote it, to have the first chance to move in any supervisor position. So, with all this being said, Your Honor, I've come here today asking for your help on these issues, because I'll tell you what, and I've been stepped over 3 times. For the past couple of months, I was passed over for promotion twice, and plus the fact that I work here for 15 years, I lead in a leadership capacity, all right? And these guys were promoted with less qualification than I have. And I don't think the way things are done are being fair. All right, and especially when these positions were tailored to them. So, in a nutshell, these guys here, thumbs up, and they've already addressed more 80% of the stuff that I'm addressing here, and I've asked that, these be looked into.
Tell them about the certification.
Well, so much.
Let's not have a conversation with the audience.
Yeah, and so much, regarding my certifications, and I have a couple of years of college. I'm not here saying, well, I'm the most educated guys that I should have that opportunity. I'm not jealous against anybody. But you know what? They have to give me what's mine. That's all I'm asking. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Your name and address for the record.
Diane Chisholm, 375 Northwest 7th Court, Deerfield Beach. I'm here for 2 reasons. Mayor Rob, I would like to commend you, first of all, for how you handled yourself in last evening's meeting. The meeting was an absolutely disaster. It was a disgrace. It was a disgrace, and I think that it is high time that we start to handle things in a professional manner. So I would like to challenge you, Mayor Rob, to set the example. I would like to challenge District 2, for the most part, to change our way that we attend these meetings. If you want to get anything done and want people to take us very seriously, we have to handle ourselves in a professional and decent, in order manner. And I'm only getting up here tonight because I may not get the opportunity to see most of you in a community setting. So I would like to place that challenge upon all of us, including myself, to do things differently in the future, because I believe that in power, you get things done. And we don't always have to show our hand in everything that we have going on. And I think we use the podium sometimes to show our hand, and we show too much. We say too much, We speak too much about what's going on. Sometimes just silently do the things that we need to do. I would like to see District 2, District 3, District 4 come together as a community and share ideas, share concerns, and just be one city. Not District 2, not District 3. I think we're one city, and this is an opportunity for all of us to make a liar out of all of the people that say that this session is a disaster. This session is a joke, is what I'm hearing, and I know better. I know that there are a bunch of intelligent people sitting out here in the audience. I believe that there are people out here that want to see the city in a better position than it has been. I think that there's an opportunity that we can all be a part of the change. There is just absolutely no wonder as to why the city needs some change. There are some things going on here now that is just absolutely embarrassing. It's embarrassing. There are some things that people are trying to sweep under the rug. You know, in many jobs, most of these people would have been fired. Everyone that has a position should be accountable. I am held accountable on my job. If I do not produce, if I do not do the things that I have signed up for, I will be fired. And quite honestly, if I were some of the people that are in the positions that they're in now, I would just quit. Because I'd be too embarrassed for anyone to think that I'm collecting $160,000 a year to sit on my hands and do absolutely nothing. It's a disgrace. If I were making $160,000 a year, you guys probably wouldn't even see me in here, but let me tell you, there would be some fruit of my labor somewhere that all of you could see. If someone is making $80,000 a year, as a community person just working here in the community, living in the community, I should be able to see the fruits of some labor. Now, the city workers, I can see the fruit of their labor when I ride down Federal Highway and I see the trees are cut and look at these beautiful parks. They're nice and neat. I go over here on 3rd Avenue on one holiday after the rain. I saw about 15 people with a truck on the weekend out there working with rakes, and it was hot. And I thought, wow, I really appreciate those people. I really do. And I wonder if their managers even know they're here, if their managers even appreciate them. And from the listening, the things that I've heard over the course of the last 3 months of the things that are going on with managers and supervisors is totally unacceptable. And Mayor Rob, I've decided that I'm going to take a close look at your job description. I kind of want to know what the mayor's job description is versus the city manager. I've already gotten done with the commissioners already, and I'm going to take a look at yours. But I happen to know that you can't possibly be in control of everyone. So the people that you can hold accountable, I'm just challenging you to hold them accountable. The people that you can't, then leave it to the people who are supposed to do that. Don't get yourself in a mambo jumbo trying to take care of someone else's responsibility, because that's what the crooks are looking for you to do. So leave it to the city residents to take care of those people who are not doing what they are supposed to do. And I can guarantee you there are a few people that has made it their mission to make sure that these people are going to be held accountable. And I just want to just get up here tonight and say that I support you because you are where you are. You are the mayor. I have no other choice but to support you. I may not, in many cases, Mr. Hanson over here as the city manager, but I have to respect his position. That doesn't mean that I have to agree with what he's doing, but I will respect his position as the city manager. I will respect Commissioner Preston as the commissioner and the rest of them as such. But I think that we, the city residents, need to start holding these people accountable for what they are being paid to do. Because they're certainly making a lot more money than I am, and I am held responsible for the job that I have signed up to do. And I don't think that's too much to ask, and I'd just like to thank you for your time, and I pray that everything will work out in the city, that everyone won't continue to give you such a hard time, get behind you and try and support you in what you have to do, and let's all stop the nonsense. It's just time out, it's time to get down to business. Thank you.
I know people get tired seeing me come up here.
No, Amy, we don't.
No, but I just, Amy K. Tanner, 111 Southeast Fifth Avenue, Otis Tanner Way, Deerfield Beach, Florida. One thing about our collection of history is we've been saving newspapers and articles and things, and I will share with you, it's really addictive to go, I can't help but sometimes go in there and start flipping through old papers. And I spend altogether too much time doing that. But it's so interesting, and I invite all of you to come and look back through our history and to see what has happened before. And you know, they say if you don't know your history, you would be condemned to repeat it. And some of the things that have happened before, we shouldn't be repeating it. So I invite you to come and look at the history that we've been sharing, saving for 40 years, 40 plus, because we saved it before we started saving it officially. But y'all come, it's just so interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to thank you all for coming. It's 8 o'clock. And I hope that we can get together again and make the strides that we have to make in order for this city to progress. I know that there are some people in this city that are not happy that I was elected mayor, and there's no denying that. But I was elected, and I am the mayor, and I will do whatever I have to do this job to the best of my ability, because I'm a compulsive neurotic, and I like everything done yesterday, and that's how I function. And for anybody to insist that I am dividing the city, that is really hurtful for this reason. I remember when we ran the utility tax. What did we hear? Districts 1 and 4 pay all of the taxes, and 2 and 3 are nothing but a bunch of freeloaders. Now, if that didn't divide the city, I don't know what the heck does. I have always said, yes, I got a very good turnout from the Afro-American community. In fact, Commissioner Gant said, holy crow, you got more votes than Obama did. Well, I don't care whether I did or I didn't, but in the end, I was elected. I am the mayor, and I intend to do this job. And all I'm asking is for you to trust me, and that I will do the best I can for you. Thank you.